news flash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
What was the promise by His Excellency, the President, to pay 70% of the FOB price to farmers when he addressed farmers during his thank you tour in the Bono and Western regions? Ladies and gentlemen of the press, when the world market price peaked at $10,000 per ton, the NDC incited cocoa farmers to demand nothing than $6,000 per ton, which translated to 6,000 Ghana cedis per bag. This year, 2025, the world market price peaked at $12,000 per ton. So where is this $7,200 per ton coming from? If for nothing at all, today's world market price is $8,211.23 per ton. And ladies and gentlemen, you can do your own cross-checking. You can Google and find out. You can ask what is the world market price on the international market in terms of dollars today. And you will know whether this figure I'm quoting is the right one or what the finance minister quoted is the right one. So, at today's world market price of $8,211, the 70% translates to 84,986.23 Ghana cedis per ton, or 3,718 Ghana cedis per bag, and not the 3,228.75 Ghana cedis per bag. You can do your own calculation.
Is a stronger cedi a negative thing for the Ghanaian economy? You know, if the exchange rate was at 16 cedis, the 5,040 would have been 80,600. It would have been 80,600 if the exchange rate was 16 cedis. That's what the 5,040 would have been. Why are we making it look as if a stronger cedi is negative as far as the Ghanaian is concerned? The truth of the matter is that we sell the thing in dollars, and let Kojo know that whether it is spot pricing or average, last year was better than this year. If you check spot price today, 7.4. Check the spot price at the time that this thing was made. And I'm saying that you declared an FOB of $4,850, out of which you give the farmer 3.1. Even when the prices are relatively lower than last year, we've declared an FOB of 7,200, out of which the farmer is getting 5,040, which is 70%. It is the exchange rate, that's 16 that was used in November and 10.25 today. It is because we have a relatively stronger, a much stronger currency. Why will anybody want to play around it? Now, if anybody told you that, so if you were a watcher of the news and you looked at the pricing, averagely was around 8,000, and you hear that the farmer is giving 3,100, what will be your reaction?
The school.
So the conversation on the pricing of cocoa is still on. Earlier you had the ranking member on the Agri Committee, Honorable Isaac Yao, there making a case that the NDC promised 6,000, per bag, but now they're delivering 3,200, and calling it a deception of a sort. But then you also heard from the CEO of Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abe, making the point, and that's the significant point there, that the reason for this is the exchange rate. Because the point is that the cocoa farmers are happy when the dollar is appreciating against the cedi, because cocoa is sold in dollars, and the returns, basically cocoa farmers earn in dollars. That's the thing, all right? And what you can see here is the difference we have as at the money they were getting per ton as of last year, 49,600, and this time around come down to 51,660, just a difference of some 2,000. Then per bag, 3,100, and now it's 3,228.75, some 128 increase. Now, this difference significantly is because of the exchange rate. Because of the exchange rate. So you see the difference per ton is 2,160. That's how much government has added to the price per ton. Then the price per bag is 128.75. And this is what the farmers and the minority are saying the government could have done better. But why is that a problem? Now, if you look at it closely in dollar terms, the increase per ton is 62%. And this is significant. This is huge. 62%. 62% in dollar terms. But in cedi terms, it's only 4.1%. And we know why that is happening, because the cedi has appreciated very well against the dollar. So the difference is minimal in cedi terms, but in dollars is significant. So that's what Dr. Randy Abbey was making. If the dollar was still 15, 16 cedis, you would have seen the bag rising to about 4,000, even 5,000 possibly. But then the minority say that the NDC are reneging on their promise. What was the promise? This is what the president said. He said, we will honor our promise to pay our hard-working farmers 60% of the world market price of cocoa. 70% of the world market of cocoa. 70% of the world market of cocoa. But then you look at it closely, how much did they pay? 62%, and that's close to the 70%. They promised 70% of the world market price, and they gave 62%. So you can say, give and take, they've honored their promise. But look at the world market price at the moment here, and then we'll come and have conversation with the major stakeholders. This is the world price at the moment, 7,601. What's the 70% of that? $5,320. All right? Now, how much is government giving them at the moment, which is 60%? $5,140. So the difference is just about some $200. That's the difference. So if government was to give them 70% as the promise, this is what they will get. But government is giving them 62%, so they are getting this. All right? So they are getting this. But then if you look at the price over the years and ranges, the one time we saw the price shoots, because just look at it, from 2023, 2022, 800, 2023 rose to 2,000, 2024 rose to 3,000, 24 again rose to 3,100, 125, 3,228. But these increases significantly was affected by the exchange rate at the time. Because within this period, you were seeing the exchange was around 14, 15 cedis. So the increment in cedi term you could see was significant, was really significant. So the average cocoa between January and June, the price, because within this year, per ton, it has increased. You can, at a point, it was 11,000, 10,000. But if you look at the average so far this year, it's been just around 8,000 there. Then you see the price also has been dipping. And that's what has been affecting the cocoa farmers, because the price of cocoa per ton on the world market has not been stable. You can see, rose to 10,000, came to 9,000, 8,000, 8,000, 8,000, 8,000, and it's dipping. It's dipping. And is also affecting how much the cocoa farmers are getting. So the conversation is still on, and what we are going to try to do now, haven't heard from the minority, haven't heard from the government, is to hear from the cocoa farmers themselves what they make of this. Why are they sad? Because along with the new farm gate price, several interventions government is giving them. Free school for the awards, free fertilizer, seedlings, free seedlings, so many other things are in addition to this. So why are the farmers, some of the farmers, not happy? That's the big question. And we're going to have that conversation right about now. So in studio with me now is one of the farmers, the Ghanaian farmer, Enyona Manye. She's in studio with me now, and also be hearing from a cocoa farmer who was the 2019 National Best Farmer, Mr. Charles Jemfi. We'll hear from him very shortly. Enyona, wonderful, good to have you. How are you doing?
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning to you and your audience.
I'm sure this debate has interested you a lot because this is your area, hasn't it? This is your area, isn't it?
It is. It is an interesting conversation, really. I think that this is something that our farmers need to bear with the system. Okay. As at the time that the 6,000 being promised, the exchange rate was pretty much high. A dollar to CD, we knew how much it was going for. And so because they are always paid in dollars or they earn in dollars, they should actually calculate what is the dollar to a CD now. And then, like you said during the analysis you were given, the world price is around $7,601. However, they are getting $5,040. And so, like you said, the change there is just about some few, coins to make up for the right amount that they are expecting.
So the cocoa farmers are clearly are being affected by how Mr. Ato Forson is forcing.
Exactly.
Because, and you see, and this is interesting, and I think not just the cocoa farmers, every other person who earns in dollars at the moment.
I am affected.
Oh, you earn in dollars?
Yes.
Oh, really?
For the work I do, I earn in dollars.
Okay.
And then I will take my money and change. I was complaining to my team that I'm saying their dollar, no media, but previously when it was 1 to 16, when I take the same amount from my account and go to the black market, that's where I get my money. I go and change. I get something significant. But what we are experiencing now is not just about the cocoa guys. It's about everyone who deals in dollars. Yesterday I was watching PM Express and Evans explained it to everybody's understanding. But I think that politicians should also learn. When you're about to make an utterance or you're about to make a promise, you can't predict the future. And so you have to be very careful to know how do I put this presentation so that when people are judging me per the word or the promise I make, you would have something to say. If only during the vetting of Honorable Eric Opoku, he said, Sayaba, or when we come and the dollar is still 1 to 16, I would pay you that money, then you have somewhere to hide. But this one, you made it clear that this is how much we will make sure we look at the world price and give you what is due you. So for an ordinary cocoa farmer, he has heard it, and he's expecting what exactly you promise. I saw Dr. Randy, doing some tour previously to engage these cocoa farmers, pick up their thought, the problems, and how to resolve it. But the question is, before this price was announced, did they at least call some of the cooperative leaders? Because I know for cocoa farmers, when it comes to group or association, cooperative, they are very good at that. Did you engage them? Are they aware, even though they might not be able to say anything, this uproar, this anger in town might not have come this way?
And you know something? This exchange rates appreciation of the cedi, the significant appreciation of the cedi against the dollar, and the impacts on the price of cocoa in cedi terms, as much as the farmers are not happy because they earn in dollars, realistically, they also enjoy the benefits of the exchange appreciation.
I agree.
Because a normal day, I'm sure they use fuel. They've seen a reduction in fuel prices. So even if they use generators or other equipment which require fuels in their farms, they've seen some reduction in terms of how much they spend in that regard. So why do you think they still want an increase in the price in cedi terms, although they know realistically that things have reduced? And consequently, what they are supposed to get, obviously will...
So I ran a poll on social media recently, and the farmers, I was asking them about, since the exchange rate has changed, has that impacted the things we use on the farm, like the pesticide, weedicide, and these things? And they tell you no. And when you go to the agrochemical shops, it's as if they've not seen or heard that the exchange rate has come down.
Well, there's no reduction in the price of the things you use from input.
Yes. So for a cocoa farmer who does spraying, I think months ago, I was doing a program on radio, and farmers kept calling, and one thing they were talking about is, there's a mention of free spraying. They tell you that one bottle of spray that comes, instead of them handing over to a farmer that this bottle is yours or this amount of bottle is yours, go and use it, they will share. They will give you like some quantity and say, go and share.
Well, you're raising concerns about the free things government is going to
exactly like the spraying machine, the fertilizer,
this
and
obviously is intended to augment your work. So even if
it's inadequate,
but we know that you're getting 128 increase.
Yes.
And the argument is that you need more to be able to take care of these things. But the government is providing you these things for free.
And I'm talking about
money ordinarily you will spend on these things. Government is taking care of them. So you can use the profits now for other things.
It is inadequate. They tell you that they bring it. They are not admitting that it's not being brought or they are not getting. But they talk about the inadequacy. And some also talk about the late, exactly. The quantity that is given to them. Maybe I have a 4-acre, a 5-acre, a 10-acre cocoa farm, but because we are in groups, they bring some quantity and say, go and share. So some will say, at the end of the day, what you brought is not enough for me. For a cocoa farmer, pruning is done, spraying is done. There has to be some, consistency in maintaining the cocoa tree or the plant to give you the quality you are looking for.
So what can government do to ensure that these interventions they're providing satisfies the cocoa farmer, so that when they receive, they're like, yeah, we really appreciate what government is doing, and it can sort of make up for the price, the price they get in.
So I think that they should be up and doing with this mention of fertilizer and also mention of pesticide, mention of spraying machines and all that. It should be delivered as promised. Don't just mention it in a presentation or mention it as we are going to be doing this. So bear with us with the price we are giving you because of the exchange rate, which is no fault of yours. We are happy the system is looking good and, we are picking up gradually. But the other things you mentioned, I remember one time I was in a cocoa village and the farmer asked me, and young one said, we have cocoa clinic. It is in Accra and the cocoa farmers are in the rural area. When a cocoa farmer is sick, what time will he leave the village to get to the city to come and cure themselves? So the thing is that those who are the direct beneficiaries are in the rural area. So the cocoa board has work to do to calm down tempers and to ensure that everybody, relaxes and is at peace. Let's ensure these interventions go as promised. And of course, it must be delivered on time. They talk about the timing as well, that these things are delivered. At times, they promise you, we'll bring it at this time, and by the time they bring it, they would have spent money out of their pockets to go and buy.
Are we likely, because we've seen viral videos of some farmers react to this, and some of them clearly unhappy about it. And it's understandable, because if you were selling, getting 800 Ghana cedis per bag, short to 2,000, short to 3,000, and then you see an increment of 128 cities, obviously you'll not be happy about it. And we've had some of them say that, well, then they might as well stop farming because, this is insignificant.
Yes.
Is that something we should be worried about?
We have to, my brother. You know what? Presently, we are not just only battling with illegal mining, taking over all our cocoa lands. People will go home, by the time they come back, your cocoa trees have been cut down with or without your permission. We are comparing ourselves to Ivory Coast. Did you see the Ivory Coast volume of cocoa? 1.8 billion something. That's the volume they produce. And we are around 300 and something tons. So we cannot even compare ourselves to them at the first place. Now, secondly, if we want to save the little farmers who are left to still keep producing, then we have to find a way to manage the situation, which is, I am saying that these interventions, these measures are great, it looks exciting or it sounds exciting, but we have to make sure that we adhere. Let's promise and let's honor our promises. And I think that our brothers on the other side too.
We'll come to that very shortly. Let me hear from the president of the Concerned Farmers Association of Ghana, Cocoa Farmers Association of Ghana, Nana Oboadie. He's on phone. Nana, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, can I get your reaction to this cocoa price? What's your take on it? Are you happy? Are you satisfied, especially even with the interventions?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and then good morning to your viewers and listeners. How can I be excited whilst my people are crying and they are so worried because of some promises that other parliamentarians then made a pronouncement of 6,000 per bag, which has eaten into their ears. And as I'm speaking to you right now, it is worried, and most of the farmers now, even agitate, trying to stage a demonstration this very Monday at the Cocoa House in Accra. Others also that they can't even involve themselves with this kind of demonstration also have made up their minds to cut down their cocoa tree and then go in for rubber plantation. So it's a whole lot of worries that I'm in Accra currently, and then I'm trying to put myself together to go back there, sit down with them and see how we can save the situation. And this pricing has also raised a lot of controversial things that it is paving another way for the smugglers to make up their way through, because already the smugglers are there, smuggling this cocoa and other things, and then now that the price has even been like this, I mean, it is very worrying, and it's something that we need to look at.
Did you get any engagement from Cocoa Board prior to the announcement of the price? And if you did you raise some of these concerns, and what was their reactions to it?
Well, we weren't part of those that were invited. There's no program that Cocoa Board will invite us. We're not part of their programs and not part of their decision making and other things. They have their own people that they do call them when it comes to cocoa issues. But then at the end of the day, we are the people that we are on the ground. We are the grassroots mouthpiece at the same time, an advocacy for cocoa and then farming in general. And we know the problems that the farmers are facing. And the farmers do listen to us. And at the end of the day, we have been giving them a lot of training, and then how this cocoa pricing and other things just go by. But it is so short in a way that the people that are representing these farmers on Cocoa Board are people that they don't get to the grassroots for the farmers to understand what really is happening within the cocoa industry. So at the end of the day, Cocoa Board themselves sometimes don't even know what is really happening. But what I'm saying today, this morning, that even a lot of farmers now want to shift from the cocoa plantation to the rubber plantation.
Yeah, but Nana, we'll see. Yeah, but Nana, I mean, there has been an increment. In dollar terms, it's 62%. Of world market price. That's what government is giving you at the moment. 62%. 62%. They promised 70%. They're giving you 62%, just 8% short of the promise they made in their manifesto. And even the president reiterated. If that is not enough, what will be enough for farmers?
Well, we are not saying that it is not enough. We are not those that we are selling this cocoa, right? It is the government or Cocoa Board that sells the cocoa. But what we are saying, the farmers are not interested to receive agrochemicals and the because they give them. What they are calling is add all this things to their money and then give it to them.
You mean the interventions?
They don't even get the pesticides and then the kind of good intervention that the government or Cocoa Board has put in place for them. There are people who are milking these cocoa farmers are not making cocoa farmers succeed or get what they are supposed to get. That is why they are saying that it is good that we are saying you want to give them free this and that, free this and that. It is very nice and very good. The government has done what we know, and the government teach and everybody come out with free things for the farmers. But now, with the economic crisis and how the farmers are suffering, what they are saying is give us the money that we are losing to buy the agrochemicals, add that to our cocoa back, so that at the end of the day, we can take off our own things. But you know what is happening now? Cocoa Board has now made farmers lazy in the way that a farmer has to stay home for 2 years for a weeding done for them to weed their cocoa farms for them. Which the farmers complain, saying that we don't want that. The money that we are using to pay this weeding done for them to weed our cocoa farms, give us this money, and then we will do what we do the farm ourselves. At the moment, we have a lot of absentee farmers in the Western North. Which now I can boast that the only hope of Ghana cocoa is in the Western North. Which some of the farmers who are now no more interested to go with the cocoa again, but rather converting it or cutting it to turn it to a different thing. And then at the end of the day, too, there are players also trying to buy some of the land with huge amount of money, and then smugglers also paving their way through of giving a bigger more than what Cocoa Board is giving. So this is something that Cocoa Board don't have to joke on it at all because we know what is on the ground and we know what is happening. This coming Monday, they want to stage a demonstration. This will bring Ghana Cocoa Board down, and at the same time, our cocoa production also down, and it's shame for the country.
Nana, just
but nobody is listening to us.
Yeah, Nana,
but we are the only organization who are doing all these things for them.
Nana, you say you are the grassroots people. You are in constant touch with the farmers, but are you explaining to them that the reason why they've seen this seemingly minimal increase in cedi terms is because of the appreciation of the cedi against the dollar? Are you explaining this to them? Are you breaking this down to them to appreciate?
We have done an engagement, and we are still doing an engagement with it. And then the name of the program is Identification of Community Challenges on Cocoa Prices, which we are even going around with it. And it is not easy. My brother, from Accra, even to Yoso, from Yoso to another station, it is not easy. And even though that government is even sponsoring them moving around, they are not even taking it easy. We are self-financed. We self-financed to facilitate our program. And it has not been easy with us for the past 20 years. Doing advocacy for cocoa, trying to make sure that Ghana cocoa is being live, and then cocoa farmers will get their tonnage, and then farmers also get their pay, or whatever that they call it. But at the end of the day, there's nothing of that stuff, and we are trying our best in a way to reach them. At the moment, even today, after the program that we'll be having in Accra today, I have to go back to Western Region, Western North, to meet these farmers, and then talk to them. And ask yourself, is cocoa even doing such a thing? Is cocoa even trying its best even to communicate with us to see that, oh, fine, what is happening on the field? These people are there. How can we do this in a situation? Nobody, they're putting more in their ears, claiming that they spoke with the, how do you call it, the chief farmers, and then cocoa farmers are happy with the price and everything.
But I mean, Nana, you raised some concerns that some of the farmers are even threatening to cut down their cocoa trees and, switch to rubber plantation. You're talking about how smuggling might even intensify because of this, and etc. Is there a way we can avoid this? Is there anything government can do, and to try and manage this situation so it doesn't escalate, it doesn't affect the tons of cocoa we produce, at the end of the farming season?
There's something that we can do already. We, the concerned farmers, are doing it. We're engaging them. I have videos and evidence showing farmers that they are cutting down their cocoa trees, that we talk to them not to cut it down. They say they want PCE, they are not getting the PCE to do their farming, to when they leave them all this. With our own expenses, not even government, not anybody.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, at this very moment, is there anything government can do? Because it looks like it's an emergency situation. If it's not managed well, we might be in some danger of losing a number of cocoa farms. So at this very moment, what do you think government should do as a quick response to some of the...
government has to see us and then talk to us, and then we will go to the field and then make sure that this thing stops, because we are the only people that the cocoa farmers do it.
Well, Nana, thank you very much. But you mentioned there is a planned demonstration on Monday. Which group is demonstrating? You said some farmers, but which farmers are you going to?
Well, there are farmers from Samanboy, there are farmers from Andabukum, and then Eastern region, and then some part of Ashanti region that they are coming. I have all their recordings, and then whatever that they told me, telling me that this is what we are doing. I'm talking to them, but then still the pressure on me too much. I can't handle it, but then still I'll try my best to make sure that maybe it will have this situation.
Nana, thank you very much. We really appreciate the time. Nana is president of the Concerned Farmers Association, also speaking on this very matter. This is very concerning, hearing that farmers want to cut down their trees and even go on demonstration. And I was just asking Nana what government can do at this very moment to try and, manage the situation. What will you suggest?
I think I had mentioned this earlier. He mentioned about engagement before the announcement of the price. If the engagement had gone prior to the announcement, maybe the situation wouldn't have turned out this way. Maybe the 6,000 versus what we are getting now, some of them would understand.
You think the expectations were raised really
the expectation was, you know...
6,000 and 3,222.
I'm telling you, my brother, if you're speaking, making promises, you've got to be careful before you make a promise. If not, it will come biting. And he talked about people trying to cut down their cocoa. Of course, I've heard it. I have heard it, I've seen it on the field, because for us, Ghanaian farmers, we travel across the 16 region. We engage not just cocoa farmers, but vegetable farmers and others. And they tell you the experience of delay, and he mentioned delay in bringing this free fertilizer, these chemicals, and they are saying that add all of this to our money, let's handle our thing, because there are delays to these things coming.
Great. Well, the conversation is going to continue, I'm sure, throughout the week. We'll wait to see if the farmers will indeed go on demonstration. But fundamentally, cocoa remains our major export crop, and we need to find a way to get the farmers aligned so they can continue to produce the crop.